Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's episode, I will be sharing a quick story on how I changed from a Christian girl to something I cannot recognize, and also some moral lessons I learned from my experience. Let's get into the story. So it all began in 2011 when I just got enrolled into junior high school. Now I met this girl, this particular girl. Mind you, I knew this girl from my neighborhood. We were staying in the same area, but we weren't in the same school at that time. But in junior high school, she got enrolled into the same school I was going. So we happened to be in the same class. I was very isolated back then. I was more like a Christian girl. I didn't like the idea of being around people. My safe space was with God, my books, my mom, and then myself. So I had no friends back then, zero friends in my circle. As you go, you tend to want to change certain things about yourself. You tend to want to make new friends. You want to belong. I think at that time that's what I was doing. I wanted to belong. I wanted to make friends. I noticed this girl was trying to be my friend. She was constantly talking to me. She was showing me signs that yeah, she wanted to befriend me. I agreed to it. I befriended her because why not? After all, we are from the same neighborhood. This means I get to have someone I'll be coming to school with, someone I'll be going home with. I'll have a best pal to do all those things with. I was him. I didn't know this friendship was going to transform me into something else. Boyfriend in our first year in junior high school, she had a boyfriend. I, on the other hand, had no idea what boyfriend means, what girlfriend, all those stuff because I have never had one before. I don't think I ever considered having one. So maybe I reach a higher level in life. I never thought towards that direction. Yeah. I just knew that I'm going to be this good girl, so maybe I complete every level of education, then yeah, get a boo, and then what, maybe settle down or something. That's how I've always planned my life. She had a boyfriend and she told me about it. She confided in me. She kept talking to me about her boyfriend, things her boyfriend has been doing for her. Now life has been with her boyfriend. At this point I'm wondering, but this girl is too young to have a boyfriend. Like, this is such a young age, so why start with a boyfriend? Why have a boyfriend? It wasn't adding up because the way I have planned my life, I was thinking everyone had the same plans as myself, like, but no boyfriend, no girlfriend, so maybe higher level in life before that comes. So and I was like, are you not too young to have a boyfriend? You are quite young to be dating. Why not wait till you graduate from school? Then you can have a boyfriend. I wasn't buying what I was saying. I was also bent on changing it. I wanted to try and make her see reasons why she didn't need a boyfriend at that age. But it's like her mind was made up. At this point, I was sharing scriptures with her. I was praying for her. I was sharing. I was doing everything a Christian girl would try to do for a friend she believes she loves. Long story short, I am that type of a person that gets drawn to people quickly. I love deep. I love really deep. When I like you, I accept you with all your flaws, and I'll try to change you. I'll try to shape you, mold you into my ideal person. In the course of molding her from what she was, what I am, I ended up being like her, liking the idea of having a boyfriend. I remember my mom noticed the change in me after I became friends with her. And she started pinpointing it out, telling me, "Oh, this girl that you are working with, mothers have that special gift to just look at your friend and say, there is something fishy about this friend of yours." No. So my mom was telling me, I don't want you moving with her. I don't want you befriending her because she will change you. I was like, nobody can change me. Nobody has the right to change me. The only person that has the ability to change me is myself. So even if I'm friends with this girl, she has no right on me. She cannot do this, she cannot do that, she cannot influence me. And like, oh, I was giving myself all those talk in my head. I was thinking that, oh, what I'm saying is true. No one really has the ability to change you, because after all, I didn't change it. I wasn't able to change it. So how can she change me? There's this saying in the Bible, bad manners corrupt good manners. Yes. To me, like, I was unchangeable. Before I can close my eyes and open it, I've already changed into something I cannot recognize. From a Christian, isolated girl to something I couldn't identify. At this point, I have lost my connection with God. I am no longer studying the Bible. I am no longer doing the things that pleases God. I have shifted from the path that the Lord has chosen for me. Now I'm doing my own thing. I am walking on my own path. Funny enough, this girl's mom approached me and she was like, you are a bad influence on my child. You are influencing her to do certain things. She wasn't like this, she wasn't like that. In my head, I was like, someone that was dating, and me, that I had no idea of what even boyfriend means, what even relationship means, and you are telling me that I am rather influencing her badly. It didn't really make sense to me. I was shocked. My siblings and my parents tried so hard to separate me from that girl, but it was like there was this strong bond between us. We become like best pals. We were inseparable. It was when she finally betrayed me and my eyes got open. I started seeing things. I was like, what? This is what betrayal looked like. I was in that point in my life where I felt like it's too late. There is nothing I can do because I have changed drastically. I had no idea I was going to take a journey back to my old self. And that was when the devil started speaking to me. That time I felt like my thoughts were facts, like my thoughts made sense. Like I didn't know that it was the enemy or the devil that was manipulating me, making me think, oh, God wouldn't accept you back. You are too far gone to go back to God. Why not continue staying in your sin? Why not continue doing this? Why not continue doing that? Why not? All those thoughts. I am highly sensitive, and whenever I know that I have done something bad, whenever I do something bad, it makes me scared to the point that instead of admitting it or just saying it and being free, I rather go into hiding. Just like how Adam and Eve did in the garden after they ate the forbidden fruit and they went into hiding. I believe I was equally doing the same thing, backed up by the lies of the enemy that I would not be accepted. Back then, I was a baby Christian. Yes, I wasn't really strong in my faith. If I was very strong in my faith, I would understand that there is nothing on this earth that I will do that can separate me from the love of Christ. There is absolutely nothing that can separate me from God's love. That if only I am willing to admit my faults, tell him, Daddy, I am sorry, please forgive me. He will just forgive me and accept me back. Like it wouldn't take me this long to go back to him, because looking back from junior high school, second year in junior high school, so 2021, before I finally accepted my before I finally went back to my maker, it's 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 been long. It took me a long while for me to get to that place in my life to understand that, hey, God knows very well that you are an imperfect being, and God didn't even create any perfect being. He knows that we make mistakes. He's aware that as human beings we are bound to make mistakes. He equally allowed me to make that mistake so that I can have a story to share. He allowed me to have those experiences so that I will have something to talk about one day. I have finally discovered that I cannot be separated from him. Yeah, the Bible always says that God gives us a free will to choose our path. And I believe at this point, God knew that this is the right path and this is the wrong path. But He wasn't ready to force me to be on the road He has destined for me. He was willing to allow me take the harder road, make my mistakes, do whatever I want to do. Then when I realized that this cannot satisfy me, that only this can bring me satisfaction, I will walk back to Him. Every pain that I went through while on the wrong path, it led me to a place in my life where I felt like no, there was this emptiness within that no matter how I tried to fill with the worldly things, nothing was satisfying. Like I didn't find any satisfaction from the world. There was this void within me that just knew that no, you have to go back to your first love. You have to go back to this place, this man that has been with you since you were formed in your mother's womb, this man that has been with you through it all, this man that always led you on the right path. I came to that place in my life to finally understand that no, this I cannot do this life alone, and I cannot keep running from God all my life. There was no way I could run from Him, especially when He has placed a call on my life. Like I haven't really discovered it all, but I know He has set me apart for something, especially when there is a call on my life. I cannot run. But when it was time for Him to say, okay, you are done with the world, now come back to me, started revealing it to me that, yeah, you've had all the fun that you want. Yes, the worldly fun that you want. Now move to where you belong to. This is just a story about how I moved from, is it and is it grace to grass? Yes, from a good girl to something I don't even want to describe. 6 lessons I learned from my past mistake. One, you are not too far gone. You are not too far in sin to come back to God. Don't let the enemy deceive you into believing that, trick you into believing that you are too far gone, you cannot come back to God. God is always ready and willing to accept you. If only you will confess your sin, He would accept you. You are not too far gone. Two, not everyone is your friend. Not everyone should be tagged as a friend. It is okay to address someone as your schoolmate. It is okay to address a person as a church colleague or a work colleague. It is okay. It's perfectly fine. Not everyone is your friend. Be cautious of the people you allow into your journey, because not everyone is on the same journey as you. When you address everyone, every person you meet as a friend, you open yourself up to, let me use demonic spirit, to all kind of things. To all. Third lesson will be, not everyone belongs to your journey. I have already said that in the second point, but I'm repeating it again as a point on its own. Not everyone belongs to your journey. You need to leave people where you met them. Not everyone is your friend, and not everyone belongs to your journey. The fourth lesson I learned is you cannot change people. People will only change when it's time for them to change. Don't force it. Don't say, oh, I have this ideal picture of how you should be like, so by all means I must force you to become who I want you to become. People will only change when it's their time to change. Like me, for instance, when it was time for me to move to the path that I belong to, no one no one forced me to move. I just knew that it was time for me to change back to what I was before this girl came into my life and there was this big shift in my life. I just knew at this point that no, it is time to go back to where I belong to. The world is not my place. The world is not my home. Same applies to everyone. When it's time for them to change, they will change. Don't force it. Don't force anyone to change. Don't force anyone to move the same path you are on. My fifth lesson would be okay with loving people from afar. If I knew this back then, I would have chosen that maybe, oh yeah, I love this girl this much, but I also love myself more. Walk away from her If I knew back then that you can just love someone from afar and not really get close to that person, I would have done that. I thought by loving someone, you should be in their life, like they should see you playing a role in their life for them to understand that you love them. But as I have grown and evolved to become the woman that I am right now, I have come to the understanding you cannot force your love on people. But God that sees the heart know that you truly love them. The final lesson I learned from my past mistake would be the wrong people have the tendency to disrupt your journey. The wrong people can make you miss your mark, can make you shift your focus, can make you lose your way. The wrong people can make you lose what you were created for, what you were designed for. So it's not everyone you should give the permit to enter into your life. Be very cautious of the people you allow into your life, you allow into your space. Don't allow everyone into your journey. And this is why sometimes you also need discernment. Because imagine if I had discernment, I believe I had it back then, but I wasn't really using it effectively. I didn't really know or understand the voice that was speaking to me. So I couldn't really perceive that this person isn't right for me. This person isn't my person. The right people will push you closer to God, and the wrong people bring you away from God. So you need discernment in all your dealings to be able to tell whether this person is allowed to be with you, this person is allowed to be on your journey. Another thing I learned too is traits are transferable. It's a lot of things we think, oh, it's normal, oh, is this or is that, oh, this one here is nothing, I can still move with this. A lot of things are transferable. More reason why whenever you are in a relationship and you've done all the things you want to do with them, and they maybe you guys break up, they leave, it feels like they took a certain part of you away. Yes, same applies to friendship too. People carry their own baggage into relationships and into friendship. So whatever baggage they carry, whenever they enter into a relationship with you and or become friends with you, it's likely possible for them to drop all their baggage on you. When they leave, you start feeling the weight of their baggage, but you wouldn't understand, why am I feeling this way? Why am I'm feeling this kind of heaviness? Yes, people bring their baggage into relationship, and when they leave, they don't go with their baggage, they drop it on you, they leave it with. That is why you should be careful who you call a friend, and you should also be careful who you date or who you enter into a relationship with, because once the person leaves, he will leave you with parts of him. The same way he will take parts of you away, you also leave parts of him with you. Mindful of your circle. Not everyone is allowed. No reason why you find yourself drained after a breakup, or you find yourself drained when you and your friends cut ties. So that's that for today. This is how my life took a huge turn. I know I'm not really good with storytelling, but I believe as time goes on, I will understand this. All too soon, we have come to the end of my not so short story, but I believe you have taken a thing or two from me. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you enjoyed today's video, please share your personal experience with me. Bye.